Good morning, everybody. I'm Jayasudha, Associate Professor of Business Administration. Today, I'm going to discuss about women entrepreneurship. The learning objectives are: at the end of the session, you'll be able to understand the concept of women entrepreneurship. You will have a knowledge on the growth and development of women entrepreneurship. You'll be able to identify the problems faced by them and suggest measures to overcome the problems. Before we go to the introduction about women entrepreneurship, a few facts about women. Women constitute half of world population, so it is the case in India too. They are considered to be the better half of the society, and in the traditional societies, women were confined within four walls, whereas in the modern societies, they started to participate in all spheres of activities. They have plunked into the business in recent years. Now the concept of women entrepreneurship. The Government of India in 2006 has defined a women entrepreneurship as an enterprise owned and controlled by women having a minimum financial interest of 51% of the capital and giving at least 51% of the employment generated in the enterprise to women. However, this definition was criticized on the criteria of employment. Women who think of a business enterprise initiate it, organize and combine the factors of production, operate the enterprise and undertake risk and handle economic uncertainty involved in running a business enterprise. This definition clearly defines what is women entrepreneurship. Now the functions of women entrepreneurship. According to Frederick Harbison, in 1956 he has enumerated the various functions of women entrepreneurship. He says an woman entrepreneur has to explore the prospects of starting a new business enterprise. She undertakes risk and handles all the economic uncertainties involved in business. She introduces innovation or imitations of innovations. She coordinates, administers, and controls. She supervises and has leadership qualities. Now about the growth of women entrepreneurship in India. According to International Labour Organization in 1980, it submitted a report stating that women constitute 50% of the world population, do 2/3 of the world's work hours, receive 10% of the world income, and own less than 1% of the world property. And all these are because of an accident of birth. Women are considered as better half, but in reality it is not so. They enjoy disadvantageous status. The women have low literacy rate, nearly 40%, and the work participation rate is also low. It is to the extent of 28%. The urban population share is only 10%, and all the conditions for development are non-conducive. Of the total self-employed persons, women constitute only 5.2%, and of the total 1.7 million entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs constitute only 9.01%, and this statistics relates to 1988-89. Women entrepreneurship in India is a new phenomenon. Earlier, women had entered into the 3 P's of the kitchen, like manufacturing, pickles, powders, and puppets. Whereas due to the pull factors and various push factors, women have started to enter in the 3 E's, like electronics, electricals, and engineering. Some of highlights of women entrepreneurs in India are: in Gujarat, women produce solar cookers. In Maharashtra, they run small foundries, and in Orissa, they produce TV capacitors. Some real-life women and successful women entrepreneurs are like Srimati Sumati Moraji, who owns a shipping corporation; Srimati Yamutai Kirloskar, who runs Mahila Udyog Limited; Srimati Meena Malhotra, who is very popular in exports; Kiran Mazumdar-Shah, who is the founder of Biocon Industries, Shahnaz Hussain, who owns a beauty clinic. Kerala is a state which is considered to have a highest literacy rate, and because of education and motivation and also assistance from government in the form of finance, marketing and training, they have more number of successful women entrepreneurs. And next in line is the state of Maharashtra. Now passing on to the development of women entrepreneurship in India, women have started to participate in all spheres of life. The national and international organizations and agencies have started to feel the need for developing women entrepreneurs. In 1975 to 85, the decade is considered by UN as a decade for women. World Conference of the Decade for Women was organized in Denmark in the year 1980. The first National Congress of Women Entrepreneurship was organized in New Delhi in 1981, and the second International Conference was organized in New Delhi in 1989. The sixth five-year plan concentrated more on female employment of women-owned industries. The seventh plan stressed the need for women entrepreneurship by having a special chapter on integration of women in development. Various associations and institutions have started to develop, like FIWE, FLO, Dwakra, Seva, Awake, NABARD and SIDBI. Passing on to the problems of women entrepreneurs. Women face many problems as entrepreneurs and as women. The first basic problem is the problem of finance. Women do not have any property of their own to keep as security and raise finance. Also, the financial institutions and banks refuse to sanction loans to women. Next is scarcity of raw material. The scarce raw material is competed by both male counterparts and successful women entrepreneurs. Women entrepreneurs have to compete with these people and get the scarce raw material, which they find it very difficult. Stiff competition they have to face from both the male counterparts and the organized sector. Women basically have limited mobility. They are not independent to move from one place to another. Women have to play dual role. They find it difficult to balance both their work life and their family life. Women basically lack education, and this leads to a lack of participation in women entrepreneurship. Basically, our society is male dominated, which also proves to be a major problem of women entrepreneurs. The next online is low risk bearing ability. Women in India lead a protected life. They are less educated and economically not self-dependent. All these reduce their ability to bear the risk involved in running an enterprise. Besides these problems, certain other problems like inadequate infrastructural facilities, shortage of power, high cost of production, social attitude, low need for achievement, and socio-economic constraints also hold the women back from entering into business. Hence, there are some suggestions for improvement in the status of women entrepreneurs, like women need to acquire some experiences in dealing with money. Money management is very important to run a business successfully. Women need to appraise themselves at times so that they can make the improvement in running their business. Women need to gain occupational work experience and then enter into business. Women need to know how to prioritize their responsibilities as they play dual roles. Women need to establish a support system. They must get their support from their family. And besides these, women need to be determined and professional. Thus, to conclude, women in India are no longer confined to the four walls of house. The government and voluntary agencies have started to recognize that the women, if strengthened and integrated in the process of industrial development, will do wonders. Therefore, efforts are taken to tap the unrecognized and unaccounted strength of women. Thank you. meet you again in yet another session.